How's it going? Welcome to the live stream. Sorry about last week, but this place was a mess and was covered in carbon fiber and G10. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know it took me all day Monday to clean it up. And I mean like hours. Well, mainly because I'd vacuum stuff up and then, I have a window there and I had fans blowing out. So I'd clean for an hour and then take a 20-minute break to let it air out and then clean and clean and clean. And whew. Anyway, so, yeah, getting back on track, and man, I'll tell you what, life is pretty ironic because, I have a few stories about my, hey, what's up, Bootleg Blades? Not out playing golf. I saw you were yesterday, though. I titled this Hope and Tragedy because there's like 4 distinct things in my life that really affected, good and bad. But life is just so ironic that today I got some bad news and then some good news all within an hour. Like the guy I grew up with in high school, I mean, the minute we met, we were like brothers. And we went everywhere together, got in trouble together. In school, if I was called down to the office, 5 minutes later, he'd be coming down to the office. And that's how close we were. And then as time kind of went on, we kind of separated, but we were always like family. And, he told me, he messaged me asking about his son because his son's having heart surgery in the same hospital. It said, what was the doctor in this? And Fairfax Hospital is like the best hospital for heart surgery and stuff like that. So, yeah, so that kind of hit me hard. But then within the same hour, I got another message from a guy saying, hey, I'm starting this new website and, I don't know if it's new. I have this website where I sell knives and help people sell knives and all that stuff. And, would you look into it or you can sell your knives here? And if anyone knows, knife making for me, I love doing. But when it comes to promotion and sales, I'm horrible. Now, I don't know how good the site is and all that. I have to check into it and all that, but it's just like, man, here I am talking about hope from tragedy and all this labeled as today's video, and then bam, within an hour I get like news that could be potentially great and news that could be potentially devastating. And it's like, man, it just makes you think. It's like, man, and honestly, in the last couple of weeks, I've kind of almost been thinking about maybe stopping this live stream, just not because I don't enjoy doing it, but because it's summertime and people are out doing other things, and so when fall comes and everyone's back indoors, maybe I'll start it back up. But then it's like, this is something I enjoy, so even if 2-3 people show up, it's worth it. So I think I'm gonna keep doing it. It's just, you have these doubts in life, and then things kind of come up that put things in perspective. Hey, Gravinder, how's it going? Glad to see you here. But yeah, it's just, man, life is so ironic. Just, just the way it brings things, it can bring good things and bad things all in 1 hour. It's like, man, because if this site is actually legit, it can really help me sell my knives, And then so I got all these weird mixed emotions, because I remember the heart surgery, man. It's a tough battle. It's whew, yeah, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of emotions. Marcella Nicoletti, greetings from Rome. Hey, how's it going? Man, I love when, Gravinder's from India, now someone from Rome. I love seeing you guys from all around the world. That's one beautiful thing about the internet, man. We just can connect to people all over the world. Yeah, man. It's awesome. Ah, man. But speaking of YouTube, this was actually going to be my last topic, but I'll put it first because, I was watching this video because, YouTube always has these algorithm problems and, like demonetizing knife makers or guys that do guns or weapons or stuff. Even though I don't promote knives as weapons. I promote them, as a tool. In fact, I just came up with a new logo. It's not a weapon, it's a way of life. Invader Knives. I'm going to make that as a shirt. I was just thinking about that earlier. Tom Hannes, hey, what's up? From the UK. Man, we got people all over the world here today. That's awesome. Sweet, sweet, sweet. But yeah, so I was watching this video because I always try to keep up on algorithms and, especially, I've said this before, man, when people look at YouTube, they think it's an easy gig and, man, you're just going to get followers and get all this stuff. And like 5 years ago, that might have been true. But now so many people are uploading that it's I've never worked so hard for nothing. 8 months ago, I hit all the required to be monetized and still haven't been monetized. In fact, I had like 3 times the watch time and all that. And now I've doubled the viewers and all that. Still no monetization. Now, I don't know if that's because of their view of knives being weapons or what it is. But this one guy's talking about how YouTube is now trying to discourage people from uploading because so many people are uploading every minute. It's something like, it's in the thousands every minute of videos being uploaded. So smaller creators are getting, they aren't getting their views out and getting stuff like that. So it's almost like YouTube is discouraging people from uploading, which I love making videos about knife making and stuff. So that's not discouraging me, but it does when you work so hard at something and, all these people that have been successful, it's like the things, Casey Neistat, Gary Vee, all these guys, be authentic, be yourself, find your own way in life, make your own path, all this stuff, and you'll be rewarded. But now it's gotten to the place that YouTube is so saturated that I'm working 3 times as hard and not getting any recognition. But that also might be from my head being like, man, I've never worked so hard for nothing. So it just might be something I'm building up in my head. So Nathan Horton, I've learned quite a bit from your videos. Oh, thanks. Really appreciate that. Yeah, see, now that's what makes it worth it. The more I start building a following, the more I have people who are like, man, I had this problem and now I've overcome this problem because I watched your video, or man, your videos are so inspiring. Or, even the thing that I would think people would, joke on me the most is, my consistent laughing and all that. They're like, man, your laugh is effective. It always brings me up and stuff like that. So you never know. So, but, the thing is, I didn't get into YouTube to make money. I got into YouTube because that's how I learned to make knives. I watched all these guys making knives and doing all these tutorials, but there was a lot of things about these tutorials that I didn't pick up. Or, you see a guy, it drives me crazy because these guys always get the most views where they don't say a word, they just put knife down, boom, 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 and the knife is done in one video, but you have no idea what they did. Or things I wanted to learn on YouTube, I couldn't find. So it's like, man, those are the videos I'm going to make. And I'm going to try to explain it. I have to find that balance where, can I explain it in like 20 minutes? Because no one wants to watch an hour-long video, except the diehard guys. Some of my videos get into 30 minutes, and there's a lot of people that still watch them, which surprises me. So, but, yeah, so this guy was talking about how so many people are uploading to YouTube that they're kind of like trying to push out people that aren't getting a lot of views and a lot of likes. And, they're changing the algorithm to put people on top that are already on top. But, the thing is, I've always been an outcast. And now I'm just an outcast in an outcast category, which is knife making. So it just makes me want to try harder. But, and, I started this live stream talking about the irony of life. And, man, I've got, 4 or 5 people here. I don't want to say guys. When I say guys, I mean guys and girls. I got 5 or 6 people that are new here, which is completely inspiring to me. And it's like, man, this is why I do it. I got all these people here now that are, may have never heard all the things. Because it's like, man, you start running out of things to talk about and you start repeating yourself and stuff like that. But hey, you never know. People might get inspired by it and be like, wow, man, that's true. So, and some of these topics are from 2 weeks ago, but if you watch that video or go back and watch that live stream from 2 weeks ago, I was talking about the ABS and how you have to forge knives and all that to get in the ABS and stuff. And there should be some kind of guild. And one of my friends on Facebook's like, well, there's the Knife Makers Guild. And I looked it up, and basically you just pay dues and go to classes, and I think you go to a few shows and show off your stuff, but it doesn't matter how you make the knives. And the only problem with that is, if you guys have been here for a while, I have to take care of my mom. She had a stroke, so I can't leave the house except for like 30 minutes to go shopping. And the other problem is, I emailed the guy and I told him, hey, look, my phone is blowing up now that I turn on the live stream. I emailed this guy and I said, here's my situation, but I would like to be like an associate where I donate to the cause and maybe become like not an active member, but a member on the side that just contributes and stuff like that. And I told him, I'm building a channel and I'm building Instagram and stuff like that so I can promote it too. But I never got an email back. So it's not like I could say, yeah, go join this Knife Makers Guild because they're top notch, because the guy never responded to me. So, Gravinder, you are right. I watched so many videos, but your video was the first one where I saw shaping handles. Oh, right on. Right on. I think it's a lot of people have that thing where they want to get more views instead of get the diehard knife makers, or find that balance in between. Or I kind of want to be like, look, this is the stuff I didn't know, because like I said, I learned everything from YouTube. So if I try to break it down and explain it like this, but it's pretty cool. I like doing it. I just wish YouTube would realize that knives aren't weapons. They can be, but I would say, I'm throwing out a number, this isn't statistics, but I would say 5% of knives are weapons. Most people carry a knife so they can cut open boxes or fish, or cook or eat, or knives as a weapon is like the smallest part of it. Even tactical knives, most people just carry. Now maybe if you're in a country where you're not allowed to have guns, knives are weapons, but that's a whole different topic altogether. Nathan Horton, the video series for beginner knife makers was really got me hooked. I'm thankful for guys like Dave can break it down to my level. Oh, awesome. Sorry I can't read good, man. My eyesight's been going for the last 2 years, so I even have like the live stream blowing way up so I can read it, but yeah. Plus my reading is horrible. I got really good grades in school, and English, I got good grades because I can write. I'm a really good writer, and I have a lot of ideas, but man, when it comes to spelling and reading, it's kind of like my dyslexia and my attention span. I'll start reading and I'll just drift off, so reading's not a really good thing for me. It's good to know your weaknesses, though, right? So let's get on this topic of finding hope in tragedy. For all you guys that have been here for a while, I apologize, but there's 4 big things in my life that really shaped, how my life progressed. The first one was like 1996, where like the guy I was in every band with and like my best friend died. I basically watched him, OD, called the ambulance, and he was dead the next morning. So I was the last person with him and all that. And if anyone like watches Instagram or anything like that of mine, you know that music is like everything. I'm a knife maker and I do YouTube and all that, but my whole soul is music. Always has been. My dad was a jazz bassist, so I played piano at like 5, cello at 7, violin at 9, bass. I've always played music and always been into music. So when he died in 96, music became too painful. Now there was times when I like would go sing for a band. It's like they already wrote the lyrics, because I got mad books of lyrics. In fact, lately on SoundCloud, on Instagram, I've been getting all nostalgic and kind of posting my lyrics with songs and stuff that I wrote years ago. Well, a few years ago. But, yeah, so music was my life, and then I gave that up because he died, and it was just too painful. In fact, a year after he died is when I got pain and sorrow on my arms. And it was just like bleak. And then in 2001, my dad passed away. So I didn't play music for 15 years, and that shaped my life where everything was just dark. And if you like read lyrics from that time, it was a really, really, really dark time for me. And, I have a friend, in fact, I've talked about this before, the guy, in fact, it's the brother of the guy whose son is having the heart surgery, is the guy who hired me to taught me how to build houses and gave me a job. He's like, took me under his wing, and I built houses for 10, 15 years. So I became like not a master carpenter, I would say, but I could basically, it was like me and him working together, remodeling houses or whatever, and we'd hire out other people. So I learned, tile work, plumbing. I've learned all those trades. So that was a good part, but I never touched, and then my arm got all messed up, so I couldn't even play music anymore. So I couldn't even hold a pick to play guitar, and I had to that's why everyone's like, man, cut your thumbnails, cut your fingernails, but I need them. It's the only way I can play guitar. Oh, Nathan Horton, my weakness is grinding bevel. I'll tell you what, everyone's weakness is grinding bevels. And it's just something you have to overcome. I could sit there and teach you over and over how to grind bevels, but it's just something you're gonna have to learn, because, man, I didn't even start doing YouTube videos for 2 years. I didn't even start selling knives for 2 years because my bevels were so bad and horrible, and I almost quit making knives 100 times because I get so frustrated that my bevels look so bad, and I'd blame my arm. Oh, my arm's the reason I can't do them, and this is the reason I can't do them, and I'd make so many excuses and be like, man. And then my friend would come over, the one that got me into knife making, and he would zip through a bevel, and I'd be like, and I'd tell him, I was like, leave, get out of my house. So we all struggle with things, but the only way you're going to get better, is to keep doing it and keep putting time in and putting in the effort, and know that it will get better. And I used to say this a lot. I would say the best way to improve, well, there's 2 ways. Find someone that's going to be honest with you. Because that friend I just talked about, I would get this knife where I think it would be like the best knife I've ever made. And he'd be like, oh, well, you have a problem here. This needs to be fixed. You need to fix this. Even when I got my bevels perfect, he'd be like, well, your bevels look awesome, but man, your handles are horrible. So, and it stung and it hurt. And it's like, come on. But it makes you improve so much. And it just, because the thing is, you go on the internet, you go on Facebook, Instagram, you make a knife, people are going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to say, man, that looks great. Man, that looks sweet. And they have the best intentions, but it's not healthy because there might be things you need to fix or other things that need to be done, if that makes sense. And then the second way, since I started making YouTube videos, I've realized, get out your phone. If you have a camera, get out your camera. Record yourself grinding, you know. And I still catch myself. It's like, man, why was I doing that? Why was I grinding like that? Or why was I doing this like that? When you watch yourself back, you know, I would say upload it to YouTube, even if you don't want followers and all that, because that way it saves you space. Believe me, I save all my footage from all my cameras and stuff. And, man, it's just like, I've got like 5-6 terabyte things just filled with footage. So, yeah, don't worry about bevels. You'll get it. You just got to keep practicing. But see my ADD? I got way off topic, but I hope that helps. So anyway, my dad passed away, and I quit for 15 years and did, started, you know, carpentry and all that. Then in 2011, I wanted to take our old videotapes, because if you go back and watch this, you know, if you go back to on this YouTube channel and hit oldest videos, it's mostly like old shows and old videos and old songs that I wrote or my band played or live shows like that. And the guy with the long hair is the one that died. So I was like, man, I figured out how to take all my old, you know, camcorder videos, you know, the tape videos, and make them digitalized. And when I did that, I actually bought a guitar and I started playing again. So 2011, I started getting back into music, writing and stuff. And things, it was hard, you know. And if some of those videos, you'll see I had long hair, like, you know, down to my boob long hair, long curly dreadlocks. I mean, I didn't even brush my hair for 7 years, and I had these big old dreads. And, yeah, so those two things took me on a different path in life, but they also really devastated me. And then in 2014, I had to have open heart surgery. And at that point in my life, when they told me I needed open heart surgery, I didn't care. If I would have gone, and I've said this, sorry if people have watched for a while, but if I would have been dead, then, you know, God willing, and my life would have been over, and people have been like, see, he didn't amount to anything. But I made it through, and it opened my eyes. And that's when I bought the 2x72 grinder and all that stuff, and that's when I started making knives. So this path that I never even knew, you know, before that, I owned a few switchblades. In fact, I owned a lot of switchblades and out the fronts, and maybe a Kershaw here or something like that. But I didn't even know what knife making was. In fact, I've told this story 100 times. I saw my friend, he bought blades from DB Blades and from Dirty Room Knives. And I was like, man, you mean people actually make these? Billy Martin. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Welcome. Oh, SLG Foxy, I missed you. Hey, glad to see you back. How's it going? So anyway, yeah, I bought, you know, I got into knife making. And the first time I went to make a knife, I went to Home Depot. In fact, I think I found, yeah, look. You want to talk about bevels? This is mild steel. I thought you could just make a knife with mild steel, and that's all you needed. So if you're worried about bevels, here's the first knife I made. I just found this the other day. I don't even know what this hole is, but yeah. So it's even sharpened. Well, it's got burrs on it, but so, you know, we all start somewhere. And, you know, that was the third thing that was like a tragedy in my life, this open heart surgery. But honestly, it's the best thing that ever happened to me, because it took my life from a point where I had no ambition. I didn't care if I lived or died. Every day was just the same day. And life just didn't matter. And it went to a point where I made it through this tragedy. You know, I stared into death and came out on the top of everything. And my life changed. And I started working harder. I started making knives. And then a year later, you know, the worst thing, my mom had her stroke. And if you knew her before her stroke, she could out-talk Mormons. You know, Mormons would come to the door. She would invite them in and talk for an hour. And they'd be like, "Oh, excuse me, miss, but we have to go." And you know, people would call about bills. And I'd be like, "Who are you talking to?" 3 hours later, she's still talking to the lady. You know, any person she met, we would go to the store. And she'd start talking to someone. And I would even tell them, "Look, you have to walk away because she will not stop talking to you." After her stroke, she can't speak a word. She hasn't spoken in 3 years. So, you know, and her right side's paralyzed. She went to a recovery home that the insurance covered for 90 days, came out with big old abscesses on her feet and all this stuff. So I'm like, look. And they're like, "Well, sell her house and we'll take care of her." And I'm like, no, there's no way. There's no, you know. So I brought her home. I had the house cleaned out. And so I take care of her 24/7, you know. And out of that tragedy, it's like one of the worst things that ever happened. But she's happy. She laughs all day, you know, smiles all day. She can't speak, but she is happy. But the one thing it taught me was responsibility. Because now I'm not worried about myself. I don't worry about my life or what I'm doing tomorrow. I worry about, I have to take care of her. I have to wake up every 5 hours, you know, change her, all that stuff. I have to feed her every couple hours. So that tragedy gave me the responsibility that I never had in life. Because I would, you know, if I wanted to go to the beach, I'd jump in my car and go to the beach. If anything I wanted to do, I was gone, you know. And I never had priorities, let's say. You know, my priority was just to make it through the day. In fact, if you listen to that one song, 20 Years Down, and you read the lyrics, that's what it's all, you know. How can I make it? How can I think about a future when I can't even make it today is like one of the lyrics. So, and that was my whole outlook. But her stroke, which was like devastating to me, taught me responsibility and taught me how to live. E.T. Preppin', you made it, Chip. He was on the mower. Man, Chip, you've missed a pretty deep live stream today. In fact, I started out talking about I was almost thinking about giving up the live stream, but I just can't do it. I would not give it up for bad reasons. I just figured everyone's having a good summer, and then in the fall I'd start it back up. But this seems to be going pretty good. I don't think I've even hit on half of my topics, but I'm just rambling here. Nathan, I'm not even reading comments. Nathan Horton, it's good to see that you haven't let all that tragedy you've experienced make you angry and a bitter person. Oh, I was a bitter person, believe me. Well, I'm a very conflicted person, you know, and I still have bad days and stuff, but I was very bitter. Like I said, like I was talking about the knife making, you know, I blamed my arm, I blamed the tools, I blamed everything. My whole life has been excuses and blaming everything else other than myself. But once you step into that line where you see, wow, you know, I'm here for a reason now. You know, by the grace of God, I was saved and I lived, and now I can make better. You know, money, I like money and I like buying things. But even since I was a little kid, I thought, you know, I thought I was going to be a rock star. I was going to be famous because I'm a very introverted person. So I can't speak for myself, but my music can speak for me. My videos can speak for me. You know, my knife making can speak for me. Like when it comes to sales, like when I started on this live stream, I can't sell because I don't know how to communicate with people. In fact, I think Instagram has this new feature and stuff where, and people, if people call me, I don't answer. I hate the phone. I don't talk on the phone. People ask for my phone number. I don't give it. because I'm not a very social person. You put me in front of a camera, I'm the most social person on the world. You put me on a stage to play in front of a million people, I'm a ham. But when it comes to one-on-one, I'm very reserved. Now that doesn't mean if you see me in a store or see me out in public, you can't come up and talk to me. What it means is I won't go up and talk to you, if that makes sense. I'm not a very I'm not an icebreaker. I'm very introverted. But if someone breaks that ice, and like Chip, I'm talking to Chip all the time. That's why he probably a lot of the times it'll be like an inside thing on these live streams or stuff, and people are like, "What is he talking about?" I put my email. If you want to email me, it's in the description and all that. I get back to you and stuff. It might take a day or two because I'm so busy. But yeah, so I always thought I'd be a rock star. And that's why I love the camera and love YouTube. And man, now I can communicate all over the world. It's awesome. Chip, you missed it. Some guy contacted me about a site to sell knives on, so I'm going to have to look into that. It might work out for all of us knife makers, especially if we all band together and build it up. So, there's a fee like everything, but like everything, there's a fee to sell your knife. But if it, put it this way, from what he was telling me, it's a low fee, like 6% or something, which 3% goes to PayPal and stuff like that. But you sell a $200 knife, that's less than $20. In fact, it's a little over $10. And it would be worth $10 to me if someone can sell my knife. But I don't want to promote the page and all that until I look into it more and all that. So, but yeah, it would be nice. So yeah, tragedy happens to us all. And the first two things destroyed me. Having my friend die, it's 23 years later, and I still think about him every day, and I still feel guilty because I was the last person with him. And, it took a long time. In fact, I can't watch like live shows and stuff because I'll start breaking down. I mean bawling, breaking. Like I watched that Lady Gaga movie, that last one, and I must have been bawling 5 or 6 times just because, and I saw my dad do it. My dad got sick of music. He was CIA, but he was also a musician. And he quit playing music because he said it just got too much. Everyone was calling him saying, you have to do this and you have to do that. And by the end of his life, he would sit there and start that and war movies and music, and he would start breaking down. And, at that time, I was like 18 or 19. I was like, man, music is my life. I'll never become that. That will never be me. I'll never quit music. And then that happened, and I quit music for 15 years. And now that 15 years, I can't get back. And, I watch live shows, and I'm just like devastated. It affects me. And even though I try to make it so it doesn't, it does. There's nothing I can do about it. That's the lost time of my life. And that's why I still put, I have a feeling a lot of the reason a lot of people still don't watch my videos is because of my music in it. It's either too heavy or whatever. But that's why I do it. I want my legacy. I want my legacy to be something. The money part is great, and having money is great, and you need money to survive. But man, when I pass, I want people to be like, man, he had a rough start, but look where he took his life. So, Chip says his son said the same thing about that movie. Yeah, man, phew, that's a tough movie. It's an awesome movie, but whew. And the thing is, my friend, every time we go out to the store or something, he always plays those songs, man. And I'm like, well, I'm with someone else, so I'm not going to break down or I'm not watching it. So, but yeah, sometimes the worst things in life can make the best out of us, Because honestly, if I didn't have that heart surgery 4 years, I might be dead anyway. I know I wouldn't be making knives, that's for sure. I wouldn't be doing YouTube. Well, I take that back. I would be doing YouTube, but I would just be writing a song here or there and putting it up. You know, all my songs, I got that other channel, which is all my songs, but there's a lot of them on this channel too, so. And the thing is, the music you hear in the background of my videos, most of them, up until like the last year, most of them have a video with lyrics and all that stuff on my other channel. I even stopped linking that channel just because it wasn't getting anything. And I was doing like guitar lessons on that channel, but my heart just wasn't into guitar lessons. So it says my ex watched it today and is sitting depressed from it. I'll have to, man, it's an awesome movie. The end is heartbreaking, but it's a very inspiring movie. But it also makes you want to just, man, there's one guy in that movie that you just want to just beat the, I almost cussed. I almost said the F word. But you almost want to beat the, out of him. Oh, man. Because there are people like that too. And it's just like, such greed, such non-compassion for life. All they care about is themselves and just want to destroy other people. And it's, you got to watch that movie. I don't want to give any of it away, but anyway. Oh, okay, I am going to have to cuss here because I came up with a really funny story, or a really good philosophy on life. But there's a little cussing involved. And I'll preface it by saying I'm a horrible eater, so I started drinking those organic shakes and stuff. So my new philosophy on life. Life is like when you got to shit your pants, but you got a whole flight of stairs to get up to get to the bathroom. You might make it to the bathroom, but you still got a whole bunch of shit to deal with. Oh, man. I was just like, guess how I came up with that one? Being down here, because I'm down in the shop, so I got to get up a whole flight of stairs to get to the bathroom. Oh, man. Oh, it's so true, though. Man, you fight for everything, you get your goal accomplished, but man, there's still a whole bunch of shit there to deal with in life. That just defines life to a T. I'll tell you though, those organic drinks, man, they're the MF word. I won't cuss that much. Which is funny, because if you go listen to my songs and the lyrics, I cuss a lot in my songs. But in fact, Jeremy from Simple Little Life, when he was doing that knife review like 3 years ago, he did my knife and he goes, he's got a great channel, but you can't listen to his music because it's got a whole bunch of cuss words in it. That's before I took the lyrics out. But man, those drinks, it's like they're out to get you. Everything's out to get me. You'll be at home all day and won't need to use the bathroom at all. You go to the store, you're in there for 5 minutes, and all of a sudden it's like, and those drinks, they don't warn you. It's like, you gotta go now. I was at Home Depot last week, sitting there, and it's like, oh, and you just gotta stand there and act like you're looking at other things, like, come on, pass a little bit so I can run to the toilet. I'm getting graphic, but man, it's funny. It's just like, whew, man, the irony of life. I was home all day. Why couldn't I have gone when I was home? So, I've still got a lot of topics, but let's hit on this one. I always say I'm a kind of both sides of the coin person, and I'm always like, my voice just cracked. Did you hear that? And I'm always telling people, pursue your passions, pursue your dreams, and if you're not good at something, just keep working at it. Keep working at it. Excuse me, keep working at it, and you'll get it. But one thing in my personality, and is sales. Like shirts. I got shirts like this on my website, and I say stuff like that. And Amazon, all that stuff. And knives. I've still got 5 knives on my website that aren't selling because I don't know how to sell. It's not my knives aren't good, it's I don't know how to sell them. And it's just part of my being that I don't know how to change. And even when I say like that whole, what I just said, I felt dirty saying it, if that makes sense. It doesn't feel right to me to push things and to try to sell things. And I know what people, or what someone would say is like, well, if the only way for you to survive was to be able to sell something, what would you do? And I came up with a reply. I would go and push a broom, In fact, when I worked as a carpenter and, we were waiting for lumber to come, I might have been top on the rung, but that doesn't mean I can't go push a broom or whatever, So just because I couldn't do sales doesn't mean I couldn't find work, because I don't care what I'm doing. I'm going to put 100% into it. But I don't know how to put 100% into sales, if that makes sense. I don't know anything about marketing or sales or anything like that. So if I was going to starve, I would, even if I didn't get the job, I would go to a restaurant or something and be like, hey, can I clean your toilets for a sandwich? If that makes sense. I don't mind doing remedial labor. In fact, I got joked on because after I got my degree as a computer tech, on my resume, it said, I don't mind doing jobs that others consider remedial. And my friend's like, why would you put the word remedial on your resume? It's because I don't care if I'm the CEO of a company, I'll still go down and clean the toilets if that's what it takes to make this business better or this job better or whatever it takes, if that makes sense. So, sales are just something I don't understand. And it's kind of like, I can build computers. I can build 10 computers a day. No problem. But when it comes to programming, or it's why I haven't converted that mini mill right there to CNC. Programming, I've tried to learn 100 times. My eyes glaze over and my brain just doesn't process it. There's some things, and there's some things you got to realize that you could put 150% of your life into and you still won't get it. You just might not be wired that way. Now that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. If it's something you're passionate about, you should still do it. But you have to be honest with yourself and realize, this is where I'm going to go, or this is, sales, it doesn't, for me, trying to sell things, I just don't feel right, if that makes sense. I feel like I have to be someone else to sell something. And that's something it's like the integrity part of me, which integrity is like 98% of my soul, won't let me, even though I know everything I'm trying to sell and everything I'm trying to do is 100% right and good, there's just that part of me that's just like, oh, you're selling, and it's something I can't turn off. Chip says, I can't communicate with people. I've been a master carpenter for 30 plus years, but can't sell a job to someone I don't know. I only get work by referral. Right. Yeah, see, I feel you the same way. Then again, referral, word of mouth. Well, before the internet, word of mouth, man, we got a lot of jobs word of mouth because people see you take pride in what you do. They want you to do it for them. But that's a whole other, man. Dealing with customers can be a joy and it can be a nightmare. Some people, especially people with money, they expect you not to be human. They expect you to be a robot and come in there and do everything above. The thing is, they'll see a picture in a magazine and they want that, not realizing that picture's been photoshopped and touched up, and so, But all right. Chip says, let's pitch in and hire a salesman. That hopefully this website, man, it might be a good idea if you know, if they get enough following where they can sell knives and stuff. Because he said he's an ex-Marine or something, which, you know, that right there, that right there, as long as it's not like stolen valor, gives me a vote of confidence. I always want to put faith in our military people. By the way, if you're in America, hope you had a great 4th of July and all that stuff. My 4th of July was spent working on this. And if any of you guys know how much I hate hand sanding, look at this. I had to hand sand all this. I only got this one up to 800 because I'm gonna do, you know, these are all hormones. It's my next video. I did that one. I spent the whole weekend hand sanding. This one's like a 2,000. But man, so I got all these, and I did a whole bunch of belt ones too. So these are like right off the belt. I want to see if there's a difference between off the belt and well, I already put this video up, so you saw this one. But I want to see the difference, and I want to do like coffee etches and vinegar etches and all that for the different knives. So I got a whole bunch of stuff going on with that. So yeah. What time is it? 3:50. All right, we hit the 40-minute link. So thanks all you people, new people that showed up, and all you longtime followers and supporters. I really appreciate it. You know, like I said, I guess it's because I missed last week that I was having doubts about this live stream, and watching that whole YouTube video about how YouTube wants to push out creators and stuff. So, but this was a really, really good live stream, and I appreciate you all showing up from Rome, from the UK, India. Man, so awesome. I love seeing a bunch of you guys show up from all over the world. Awesome communicating and connecting with everybody. So, but that's about it. Thanks for watching. Remember, I got Amazon links. Here comes the sales pitch. Feeling dirty again. I got shirts like this. Let's see if we get it. Shirts like this. Oh, Chip, I got a new shirt idea. It's pretty cool. I said it earlier, but shirts like this, and there's another shirt that are on my website. There's 5 knives on my website. All that stuff's down below in the description or up on the cards. I guess if you watch on your phone, it's down in the description. I don't know if the cards work on phones still, or anymore, or how they work. But yeah, so all that stuff's for sale. All that stuff's going good. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for this awesome live stream. Gave me confidence again, and yeah, makes me happy. It makes me happy that I don't have to stop. And yeah, thanks for all the support, you guys. I really, really appreciate it. And you know, that's one thing. I'm genuine 100%. And I also have a hard time saying goodbye. So, all right. Have a good week. If you're only here for the live stream, I'll see you next week. If not, I got a few videos I'm working on. But, yeah, have a great day. And as always, take it easy.